Hey, g'day, how are ya? This is the morning walk episode something. Who cares? I mean, who does care? Because today we're in Port Douglas. This is tropical holiday paradise, right? And so this ain't a morning walk. That's the western setting sun. This is an arvo walk. Thanks for joining me. Let's go and check out this little town. Have a bit of a chat. Because let's face it, when you're on holidays, it's okay getting up super late. That's Port Douglas, yeah? Well, in fact, that's the Pacific Ocean. It's 4 Mile Beach at Port Douglas. Port Douglas was actually founded by Europeans. European founded because Aboriginals have been in this area for, I don't know, tens of thousands of years. So first Europeans settled here in 1877. Like many places around Australia, it was settled because of gold being found not far from here. And at one point, this was kind of like the only major destination, only major place where they could get stuff on and off boats, so loading and unloading boats. And it did mean that a lot of the mining products, gold and tin and other things that were found here, originally came out and went to the rest of the world via Port Douglas. In later years, though, the railway got built and was terminated at Cairns, and that's why Cairns is a much bigger city nowadays than Port Douglas, because it got the railway, which meant it got the dollars, which meant it got all of the other people and services to support the railway. But as a result, Port Douglas has that like sleepy coastal village holiday town feel to it, which is kind of nice. Well, back when I was growing up, Port Douglas was certainly regarded as one of the more exclusive places on the coast for people to come and spend time. So it was an enclave of the rich. This is where they came and took their resort holidays. But now, kind of walking around, it's got a very different vibe to it. It's actually well and truly on the backpacker trail too, heading out of Cairns and up towards Cape Tribulation. So not a bad place to come and spend a couple of days on your way through. So it's changed quite a bit. You can see why people love it here. The weather is absolutely amazing. It's kind of like October at time of filming, so it's the end of the dry season. It does get a traditional wet season here in Port Douglas, so it does get very, very steamy and hot and cyclones. So maybe that's not the best time of year to be here. But right now it's absolutely spectacular. Sun's shining, breeze is blowing, great place to spend time. The thing that's a little bit surprising about Port Douglas is, maybe it's not surprising actually, it's got such a resort town feel to it. Like, very similar to other places you find in the world, a little bit like Bali maybe, or places in the US where you've got all these little tourist towns and the weather is warm and you've got all these bars and cafes. Yeah, it's a nice place to pass through. I'm not sure if I want to live here. Crocs, cyclones, 90% humidity. No, I wouldn't want to live here, but passing by is fun. It's kind of funny because we're here at Flagstaff Hill, beautiful lookout. I'm going to go down this little track to the cruise ship viewing platform. Of course, it's the middle of COVID right now, and I'm guessing there ain't going to be any cruise ships down there. We're going to find out. At the moment, I've got one of the kids is like getting really riled up, like upset from time to time. And they're only little, like, so it's not exactly unexpected, but I don't know, it's been kind of really hard. Dealing with somebody whose emotions are so like just raw and out there. I'm sure you've had that too. Maybe not just with a kid, but with a partner or with a parent or, brother or sister, family, whoever. It's really tough just being confronted by people's raw emotions. And, you kind of feel like you should just be able to rationalize it away. Just, say, no, just fix the problem and this is how you solve it, and just relax, relax, take a deep breath and everything will be fine. But I don't know, think about when you feel like that, when you feel like all your emotions are completely out there and you're feeling raw. Is the fact of, somebody telling you to take a deep breath or calm down, actually going to help you? No, it's not. At best it's just going to like be something that you ignore, and at worst it's going to piss you off even more. So it just doesn't work. And one of the things I'm trying to work on right now with my kid, first I want to be the best dad that I possibly can be, right? And I'm not exactly the most patient person in the world, I'm doing my best. I'm doing meditation and stuff like that, but it, doesn't always work. But I do want to be the best dad, so I'm really just trying to do a better job of listening. And there's a whole technique around it, which is just called active listening. Essentially, it's like listening to what somebody says to you and then kind of restating it back to them, but in a slightly different way. So if somebody's like clearly upset and crying, rather than saying like, what's wrong? You stop and you say, hey, I can see that, you're really upset. What's going on? So posing it more like a question rather than an observation of the obvious, because we can always see it. And I guess that's the thing, isn't it? It's like, so often we can see in the faces and in the body language of the people that we interact with. It's almost like you can see their thoughts. It's like when, you suggest something to someone and you see them kind of just stiffen a bit, right? Like they don't think it's a good idea or they don't want to. And yet, so often we will persevere with that idea or that suggestion, even though, in our minds, we've noticed that signal from the person. And so I think the much more powerful thing to do is just to call that out and just to say, hey, I can see that you don't agree with me. What's your thought? And certainly in my experience, running a couple of businesses and being on committees and interview panels and scholarship blah blah things, when you notice that body language, you notice something from someone and you call it out, it's kind of like people feel relieved and grateful that they've been noticed, they've been heard. And just the fact that they've been heard opens that channel of communication where they're more likely to be open and honest with you. And that's going to give you a better result at the end of the day. So that's basically what I'm working on with my kid, is trying not to be so much like, just do this and stop doing that, and be more like, I can see that you are really excited about pouring water all over the table. However, that's maybe not the most effective way for us to keep the table clean. Let's think of a way that we can clean up the table better. It seems so ridiculous and mechanical, but honestly, the bits that I've been trying have actually been working. Just shows that, sometimes your workmates are no different to kids and kids are no different to workmates. We all just want to be heard. I guess that is the point, isn't it? We all just want to be heard and to feel like we've been understood. So go do that. Don't always feel like you have to be the person that's right. Don't always feel like you have to be the person that has the last say. That's not what other people want. People want to be heard, and they want to be understood. And then, and only then, will they open up. And you make true connections. A lot of philosophy for this afternoon on a beautiful afternoon walk. Morning walk. And whatever you're getting out to today, I hope it's a beautiful one. I'll see you next time on the morning walk. I'm Rob Malicki. Have a great day.